What's going on, folks? It's been a while since I've, besides my little HEB video the other day, sharing the ongoing paranoia, panicking, greed, selfishness that we already knew that's where we've been going as a society for a long time. No matter how much we're in denial about it, no matter how much we tell ourselves that we've learned our lesson, I think that COVID and everything that's went on the last few years, I think it's exposed more than just the misleading information by our system and government and things like that. Whatever you decide, whatever you believe about any of it, that is your right. I just encourage people, if they've done their research and where they get their information from, because for those of you that may or may not be aware of this, why in the fuck are you trusting mainstream media? So I'm not going to get into that today. I'm going to touch base on it a little bit, but I haven't did one of these videos in a while with my podcast. Anyone that subscribes, listens, tunes in every now and then consistently, I very much appreciate it on any level. Hey, support in any way, support critics, naysayers, skeptics, haters, all necessary, all vital, because we learn a lot from people like myself. We learn a lot from all of that. It's not saying that we're going to take the bait and go down that rabbit hole, most of them, and that's what they want. That's why I've learned over the years to post and ghost. People want to draw you in, and but I feel like I need to do some of these. I decided a while back I was going to start doing these like once a month, like a recap of what's on my mind, what I see, what I observe, what I'm doing, and so I can get this to other platforms. Anyone that knows my podcast has only been audio for 2 seasons, coming up on season 3. Again, any support is very much humbly appreciated. But then again, if you listen to any of my podcasts, you know that I'm very well of who my local support is. And if you listen to it, you know that most of my support not only comes from outside of my community, it comes from outside of the whole Metroplex. And majority of my listeners are in Texas and the United States. But if you took all the other countries combined that listen to my podcast and the subscribers, like I said in the last podcast, again, when you're besides your personal page, anyone that has their own pages for any business, any brand, any podcast, any kind of merchandise, anything, you're the creator and the administrator of that page, so you get to see. They have a different, for people that don't know this, it's kind of like your story. Like, you see who views your story, whether they like it or not, and that's their right, that's their prerogative. We all know that people mainly trade likes for likes. When you're administrator and creator of a page, like my other pages or my podcast, you see all the demographics, you see all the analytics. I don't know if y'all know that or not. So it's no obligation. But people like myself, our job is to expose that most people are full of shit, don't do what they say they're going to do. They have no plans of following through with what they say. They just post shit that's popular and that gets them likes, so they can trade for likes. And y'all hear me say that a lot because it's fucking true. So you see, when you have my other pages besides my personal page, it shows how many people you reach. Say only 10 people liked it, but it'll show if 300 or 400 people viewed it, and I get that all the time. Well, the same thing, me being the creator and the administrator for my podcast, which again, just to show you real quick, I got stuff in front of me. If you hear the heater, it's because I'm in my still ongoing converted garage slash room slash studio slash turns into a storage area, and I'm still working on it, but we're gonna get there. My equipment, I got, this is all new stuff. 3 of these, 3 tripods, 3 mics, 3 of everything, stands, mic stands, mixer boards. Let me see if I can do this without messing this up. Right there. I'm a mixer. I got everything. It's been brand new. I've had it for over 18 months. No excuses, but anyone that knows our family and our story, and we're frugal and we're resourceful, and we don't have much storage area. The whole thing is to keep overhead down and work with what we have. But it's going to get there. All this stuff is brand new. It hasn't even been used. I'm just now, for a while back, I just been hooking up, playing with it. And so my podcast has never been on YouTube because you can't have it on the platform like YouTube unless you have video part. Spotify will do both. So the platform that put me on was Anchor, and I have an obligation to them. No matter what y'all's perception of success is, my obligation to them is what I know, which is in my guidelines. And Spotify was the first one to pick it up, and I have over 100 episodes, and I have 2 seasons. Look, my podcast isn't soft. It isn't weak. It isn't. It's Savage Mind fucking podcast, just like my brand is, just like my mission is, just like I fucking am. On here is the same I am in real life. I'm probably more profound in real life. Unapologetic. Just because you're offended, just because you get your feelings hurt, doesn't mean someone owes you an apology. Now, if you know me personally, you know if I need an apology is in order. No one has to twist my arm to do that. I'm going to do that. But I'm not going to apologize if I don't feel compelled to do so. And I'm not going to be fucking forced. I'm not going to be bullied. I'm not going to be manipulated. See, that manipulation don't work on people like myself because we go do our homework. We do our research. And if we don't know something enough about something, we'll say we don't know something. But the thing is, a lot of times when people have a lot of strong opinions, which I do, when you have a lot of strong opinions, sometimes people that don't understand the difference between an opinion and a fact, when they say a generic cliche statement, if opinions are like assholes, everyone has one. By you saying that, that doesn't change the facts. You want it to change the facts, but it does not. Saying that will get you claps. It will get you your peanut gallery, your fans. You know, a lot of people clap and get loud. It's kind of like, just because you get louder, just because you get mad, just because you can get people slapping high fives and giving you some dab and fucking some fist bumps, doesn't mean your position is any more strong or compelling, nor does it make it change the facts. We want to manipulate the math and the facts to fit our narrative, and that's not the way it goes. That's a problem with society right now. And so on Spotify, I see, or any of my pages, I see the reach. I see who it reaches. I didn't know if y'all knew that. So I have some people I care about and some people that told me, I never ask them, subscribe. And if you subscribe to my podcast, you know you have 3 options. It's $1 to $10 a month. It isn't going to stop us. Obviously, it isn't going to change anything, but it's so we can reach more people. So just to give you a quick rundown before I get to the rest of this stuff, I think I'm right at a little over 30 countries right now. That percentage is small. It's like 2 to 5% each one of those countries, but it's still reaching people. Look, I'm going to have musicians on. I'm going to have people who wrote books on. I'm going to have people in fitness on. People in all walks of life. It's been scheduled. I just had 2 meetings this last week with people to go over my notes, to have them on. They're excited about it. And anyone that changed their mind or doesn't want to be a part of this, again, some people can't support you publicly for the shit they say privately, or they allow other people to do. Look, if you're not in support of someone, you don't like what they're doing, or you don't like them for whatever reason, you have a legitimate reason, for whatever reason you've told yourself, that's all right. We don't have to have a fucking reason not to like someone. But we all know why it's usually jealousy. It's usually insecurity. It's usually we feel threatened. It's usually we don't like their confidence. Again, confidence, cockiness, 2 different things. In case y'all don't know that, that's not the podcast for this, but we'll talk about that later. So you will see me vape. I vape. It's a cold day. I assume most people are off work except first line workers, first responders, and necessary work people that could not work today. Thank you for all that have to do that. But the thing is if you did not have to, it didn't work the fucking job. One thing I realize now at this age, they can't pay me enough. You're not gonna pay me enough to change my life, to risk my life. Shit I did when I was younger, I realize it's not worth it now. So we all know if you're in this part of North Texas, you're iced in. Part of the country. Mimosa, I've been working on material all day. Really didn't get a workout today. I'm really not an indoor. Anybody knows I don't really even like going to gyms anymore. Something of the past for me. But I'm not about not making excuses. So what I'm doing is somewhere like today. Like I've been writing all morning and working on content, working on material. So I've been doing push-ups and planks throughout the day. I think I did like 4 or 5 sets. When I get up from here, I'll do it again. This room is cold. This room is not insulated. This room is a conversion. Second mimosa. Tastes good, feels good. So all it really did for me was to switch my days off. I would have normally been off yesterday. I did the work I needed to do for my full-time employment yesterday, and then I'm off today. So I can see anybody that subscribes and think about this. Out of, I don't even know how many subscribers I have. I'm grateful for all of them. But let's say it's not downloads, not listens, not shares. They're all different stuff. Because I'm happy with my downloads. Subscribers. Let's say I have 50. Let's just say that. 3 of them are local. 1 of them's in this house. All the rest of them are like 2 people I've known for like 30 years, but haven't seen them in years. But they're in 100% support of my message, my mission, and my purpose. All the rest of them are people I've never fucking met. That tells you something about who really supports. Now, when it comes to my gear, local has been really supportive, no doubt. And just to let y'all know, I won't dive into that right now. I haven't quit anything. I'm working harder. That is in transition. It's not, it may look like it's stagnant, but for what I'm about to try to do, I should have did it in the beginning, but I'm going a different direction with it. And with limited resources, limited funds, operating on a budget, it takes time to turn that shit around. If it does not work out that way, which if it does, I'll be able to do more bulk, more mass distribution, and you will get it quicker. Anyone that supported me on any level, the brand, my challenges, my races, my sponsorships for my races and my challenges, or my podcast, one or all, I'm grateful for all of you. No matter, there's no such thing as too small. Like I tell people, there's no such thing as little progress. Progress is progress nonetheless. People want to convince you of that, to make you stop on yourself. That's why they criticize. That's why they try to make fun. When people like us, we don't mind humiliating ourselves. That's why in my podcast, you don't hear music in the background. It doesn't mean that I ever want to do that. you don't, anything that's fluffy or frilly or you know, I've been to other podcast seminars and stuff where they're like, the real professional. You want to do this, you want to do that, and a lot of them are business. They're sports podcasts. They're anything to do with some things to do with marketing. That's not my podcast. That's cool for what they do. I want to keep mine as raw, uncensored, uncut, fucking legitimate as possible, because I preach this all the time. I'm real confused why y'all follow and support people who don't live what they say. I live what I say. And this is one thing I'm going to touch base on. It's real threatening and unnerving to some of y'all when some of us are what the fuck you think we are. I am what the fuck you think I am. Whatever that is. That's not being a badass. That's not being cocky. Whatever you think of me. Whatever version you know of me. Probably was that person at one time. In a lot of ways, I'm still that fucking person. I had someone tell me the other day, well, that's just not who I am anymore. Talk about something that needs to be handled when you confront somebody and hold them accountable. Do anything to jeopardize my life that I don't have to. Or put myself in a situation that's not worth it. This person said, well, that's not who I am anymore. And they try to use religion and things like that, because the thing is, again, it's something else we won't get into today. If you slap people over the head with religion or wherever you stand in that you've changed your life, then that's a neutralizer. People like myself know that. That ain't something I would do anymore. I'm not, people try to drag you back to your past, and because that's where they're still at. But nevertheless, the whole thing was I was supposed to let them off the hook because something that had needed to be handled. They thought because they got their life going a different direction. And because I have an amazing relationship and amazing life in other aspects of my life, regardless of money, regardless of material things, because that's not what we're about anyway. My relationship, with my spouse, my grandkids, my children that are here, and the few friends I have that I consider friends. I know a lot of people, and I care about people. I don't know that I can call a lot of them friends anymore. Usually the people that I have are more like family, or they're not. But it's intimidating when people are in real life what the fuck they are on social media, because most people aren't. It's threatening. You mean you're really like that, motherfucker? Have you not known me? So here's the thing. That person said, like I was supposed to let him off the hook. I just ain't that person no more. I said I'm not. In a lot of ways we're supposed to evolve. We're supposed to grow. That's the whole thing of growing older and getting older. It's different. People hate our confidence. They thought I was just supposed to let them off the hook. They say, I don't believe in that no more. And I won't get into what it was. I said, I fucking do. That's the difference. It's just because the world lets you off the hook don't mean we're going to. This world has enough people. You got enough people that's going to let you off the hook, let you slide, and let you by. I'm not one of them. I hold myself accountable first, then I hold everyone accountable around me. And if that doesn't work, they can weed themselves out, no matter who they are, because we don't want it. And that's why we gravitate to those people. We gravitate to people that are going to let us remain the way we are. That way, we don't hold them accountable, they don't hold us accountable. All this stuff is universal. And this is why messages and missions and this kind of purpose are necessary, because people like us that refuse to be censored, we refuse to be controlled, we refuse to be manipulated. I'm not going to be fucking summoned by anyone. We're very much necessary. So just like, looking, anybody knows I'm a huge Joe Rogan fan. No, I'm not apologizing for a fucking thing at all, ever, that I don't feel like I need to. I'm not going to get in that today. Wherever you stand on politics, religion, sexual preference, that's your right. You need to go back and listen to my other podcasts or know me in real life to know how open-minded I am. But this is the same thing they did to Joe. My podcast, I have no expectations, but I have the highest and irrational and crazy-ass goals for my podcast and my mission, and regardless of how long it takes and how old I am when I get there. But there's no getting there. There's no finish line. So they come after Joe because you can't control him, because he's a truther, because he has, a lot of people are going to attack this too as well. They look at the two people we had on, which is Dr. Robert Malone and Peter McCullough. I posted it. I said they're going to come after them and him just for these two podcasts. But they don't look at everything else that he has on. Look at the reach he has. He has everyone from Elon Musk to Post Malone to Brett and Eric Weinstein. I don't even know if y'all know who they are. He had Bernie Sanders on. All the left is doing, and this is what they're doing to any truthers, anyone that fucking refuses to comply, anyone that won't compromise, is they come after us. And just real quick, do y'all understand when you only force one side's narrative and you want to censor, shut down, and control everyone else and everything else, and you only let one side speak? We won't get into that today. And regardless of what y'all think it can't happen. Y'all think this couldn't happen. That's headed towards communism. Because just a little advice for you, you fucking cancel culture, you fucking woke. Are y'all woke enough? Most of you that are woke don't even know what woke fucking means. Woke, fucking censor. You can't censor anything unless it has something to do with children. No matter how fucked up it is, no matter how racist it is, no matter how much we fucking hate it, because I fucking hate racists, any racists of any color, any kind. I hate fucking politicians, all of them. Hate anyone that does anything to children. Should be fucking, that's the worst evil. But the reason you have to let every side speak and censor nothing, because after a while they'll censor you as well. You keep letting the government get their hand in private sectors, and you keep letting people push one side's narrative and shutting everything else down. Not only whether Whether you think it's misinformation or not, whatever it is, go do your research. Let me tell you real quick before I get off the Joe Rogan thing. Do you know that Joe has doubled viewership of CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, and all the mainstream? They lie to you every day. And no one's shutting them motherfuckers off. They're losing ground. It's like when people get loud and attack you and start cussing you out and get aggressive, and a lot of them can't even back it up. Not saying that none of us have ever done that, but when you do that, you're more pissed. You're not pissed because of what was said. You're pissed because it was the truth. The government and mainstream media, what used to be mainstream media, because now that Joe has got in this position, I posted it a while back. Anybody pay attention? I reposted it the other day. They're going to come after him because they're losing ground. They're losing viewers because that kind of podcast is the new news. It's the new news. It is the new radio because it's uncensored, unfiltered truth. And a guy like Joe does is what I'll do. I'm giving you my opinion. I'm giving you my research facts. I'm allowing these other people to have a platform to speak, and then you decide. But that's not what the left does. They're telling you what you need to think and telling you what you need to do. So what they're wanting to do now is censor and shut them down. Why? Because they don't have no control over it. So remember cancel culture? You fucking wokes, people that want to censor one side and only push the one narrative. It's only a matter of time till y'all eat yourself from the inside out. They will eventually shut you down. If they shut everybody else down, they're going to shut you down. Y'all think y'all want this. You need to go really take a look at mass formation psychosis and understand what that means, and understand that how long it's been since there was almost an extermination of one race. If you're my age, which almost a half a century old, you understand that really hasn't been that long in the scope of history. You think it can't happen again? Y'all didn't think none of this could. Have you ever think some shit like this would happen? Nobody is telling you not to get vaccinated. No one is telling you to get vaccinated. We're not telling you who to vote for. I'm not telling you who you need to listen to. I'm not telling you what sexual preference you need to have, what religion you need to be. What I'm telling you is go make a decision for yourself, but most of you have not done that. You want to make it look like it's a decision for yourself, but it's not. So what you do is you get mad and you want us to make the wrong decision with you. And it's threatening because we stand our ground and we don't compromise. And because for whatever the reason may be, hey, I got a lot of friends. They know that I'm not about that. They already know that I won't compromise on that. I sat and had a beer with a great friend a while back. We talked about it for 2 minutes and moved on. That was it. But that's not what the far left. Again, far left, liberal, right, Republican, Democrat. People don't understand the grand scope of how deep that's went and how those are separate now. And if you listen to Joe enough, you know that he's really kind of, I don't consider myself far right either. I'm definitely not fucking left. I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm an independent free thinker. And people don't like that. In a world that you're in control, you can't wait for more rules. You can't wait for more instructions. You motherfuckers don't want freedom. We don't really know what real freedom is, but we're about to find out what it's like to lose more. This is the truth. It's not conspiracy theory. We're telling you to make decisions. Look, you see me getting mad? I make decisions for myself and me and my family. And I encourage them to go do their research and self-educate themselves. Self-education is threatening to people who don't do it, but we're in love with entertainment. We're in love with being distracted. And right now, that's what has happened. Anything can be slid underneath our nose. You don't see me attacking any one side. This is laying the facts out to you. This is what happened. A podcast, the magnitude of Joe Rogan, the kind of reach, and he just had General McMaster's on. They're losing ground. It's a last-ditch effort. They don't know what to do, so they're going after his platform. That's what it is. For people like myself that's in this industry, and even in a small way, we're just a speck of the moving part. We understand that's what it is. They couldn't shut him down because the thing is, on the news, what used to be mainstream media, fucking CNN, Fox, MSNBC, what they do is they're told what they can say and can't say. And y'all just listen to it like it's the fucking truth. Same way you follow religion, same way you listen to elders and your co-workers and people that you fucking grew up with. It don't mean you don't love them. You just listen to them because you think that they're the source of knowledge because they've reached a certain age. Don't listen to shit that people hadn't experienced it for themselves. You can't live an experience and live a life of anything that you haven't experienced. You must undergo it. That's the truth. And I feel like everything that I live and everything I do, I speak from experience. And I feel like that if you know me, I live what the fuck I say I am. And I'm even trying to do that even more. I'm just curious why y'all follow people who don't live what they say and y'all don't go do your research. It's like someone saying my post is too long, but you'll sit and watch a dumbass. You know, it's like fucking challenges. It's been years since the Ice Bucket Challenge came out. Tide Pods Challenge. What was this other dumbass one a while back? I can't even think about it because it's so fucking stupid. Y'all ain't ready. 10-year challenge on looks. Nothing wrong with that, I guess, but that ain't a fucking challenge. That ain't challenging yourself. That's why y'all jump on board. Because it's not a fucking challenge. You don't really want challenges. You want comfort. You want luxuries. Or throw everything away for some mediocrity. That's what we do. So when someone comes along that are what the fuck you think they are, they challenge you with some real shit, y'all don't want it, you demons. Discipline and being mentally stable and being mentally strong is fucking offensive to people. It's a new shaming. Laziness, being a shady motherfucker, coming from where I'm from, one of the slogans in one of the sayings in the hood was being a bitch made motherfucker. We encourage that shit. It's to suppress. It's to keep you down. It's to keep you under control. And if you're disciplined and you're mentally strong and you're not the victim and you're not weak and you're not a fucking addict and you're not letting your life go to shit, or if you're just not just fucking compliant and complacent and agreeable, you're a fucking problem. Well, I guess I'm a fucking problem and I'll always be a problem. We're necessary. Let me tell you this. We're necessary because there's not very much. Let me remind y'all. There's more of us than they are of them. And when I mean they and them, I mean we're supposed to push back. We're not supposed to sit around. We're supposed to push back on everything. We're supposed to push back on our government. We're supposed to push back on rules. We're supposed to ask questions. Employers, friends, relationships. Do y'all know that? We're not supposed to sit around and just take shit. There's way more of us. But there's way more of us in fear that are scared that aren't going to do shit. We're going to do what we're told just to keep from losing some basic ass comforts and luxuries. Until you don't even have that, and they take away your necessities. We'll see. I hope not, but we're already at this point in history right now. So I was looking over my notes, and these are things when I wanted to just do a once a month thing, and I was thinking about these things, and I said I just need to do a video for people who don't listen to the podcast. You know, a lot of y'all won't even. Yeah, I mean, I got 2 pair of glasses. I think I even put the wrong ones on them. Supposed to be wearing them for years. I started wearing them again a year ago, and here I am. Can't see worth the fuck, but we decide how we age as well to a certain extent. We're offended and pissed off and going after the wrong things. And you know, there's people that'll sit and try to dissect this shit. And you can. Again, I'm not going to feed into it. I'm in a different level now. So things like that don't even, you can't even bait me with that shit anymore. And if you know me, you know that doesn't work on me. I'm not gonna go back and forth with you unless I feel that compelled about it. But before I go, because I got 2 other recordings to do today that are separate than this. Hey, support me or don't support me. I just encourage you to go do your research for yourself. Not what your parents said, not what your pastor said, not what used to be mainstream media said, not what your local news said, not what people in your fucking community you've known your whole fucking life. You know the reason we trust family and friends and we trust people in our community? No doubt. Doesn't mean you don't love them. But I have a lot of people that are here and still gone. I miss my mother dearly, and I miss a lot of people. But if I look back now of what I've self-educated myself on, there were certain things I wasn't going to listen to them on. And if they were here, I wouldn't listen to them now. If I was where I'm at now, and these people were still here, like my one and only grandparent and my mother, I feel like I could help them so much more. But that's, my mom, that's logically could happen that she could still be here, but she's not. My grandmother would be gone years ago. But the only thing I can do is give the rest of my children and grandchildren and the people around me the tools to go find out for themselves. And I feel like my loved ones know how much I care because I send them information. I don't force it down their throat, but I send them stuff and encourage them to go do the research. Because if you're like me and you have grandchildren, it's a fucking different world coming for them. We can't rely off even the school system to educate them. We need to be giving them more education at home. I didn't understand that with my two oldest children. I was younger then. This compelled me. If what has took place the last few years hasn't compelled you to get off your ass and go do your research, look, people will say someone who has a degree doesn't make them an expert. And then when you go self-educate yourself to the level some of us have, then they'll go, well, what degree do you have? Which one is it? I mean, it's like this. I was just having a conversation the other day. I have friends I dearly love that have really turned their life around. They did long prison sentences, or they've been multiple times. I'm talking about the ones that haven't went back, made some fucking mistakes, and changed their life. And I could say financially and materialistically, some of them are doing better than me. I'm not mad at them. It's just how the shit goes. It's the hand we were dealt, decisions. It's like one of my good friends, he did 2 separate times, did 9 years. Financially, materialistically, income-wise, hell, he's doing better than me. I didn't do any of that. I didn't get on drugs. I didn't go to prison. I already retired from a job. I didn't do any of that stuff. But that still doesn't mean I'm doing better than him. Then I know people that's paying huge student loans back that, it's just like someone being in a long-term relationship or married for decades. Doesn't mean they're fucking happy. Doesn't mean it's like being on a job. We celebrate and we encourage celebrating the wrong things. It does not mean that you cannot be happy because you've been there a long time. But I don't really think that some of us know. I just think we know what we settled for. I don't take people's advice and instructions because of their title, because of the degree, how much money they make, or what role they play in my life. And it's intimidating because whatever situation or environment I'm in, I'm usually one or very few people that shit don't work on. And they know it. They know those threats, that manipulation, that persuasion, that being in my ear. People are easily led astray. People are easily persuaded. It seems like that, and this is a cliche statement we hear all the time, and let's just be honest. Yeah, we do live in an environment where there's a lot more sheep than wolves. You can ask me, do you consider yourself a wolf? I do. I very much do. Fucking animal on a lot of things. But I'm not even an animal and a monster to the people I network with. My circle's gotten real small. It's gotten a lot more valuable. I give them information and knowledge to go look for themselves. If they don't, that's on them. They can't say I wasn't providing them that opportunity. Me and my stepdaughter, my twins, and other children, we don't agree on everything. Listen, we're not supposed to agree on it. The whole thing with censorship and cancel culture is we're not supposed to agree on everything. We can still be friends. We can still get along. But that's not what the far left does. It's like I just talked about this a while back and I posted about it. People can it's the same way we trade likes for likes. That's what we do, which is even if you really don't like each other in real life, or it's questionable, or you might think this motherfucker might put a knife in my back, maybe I might put a knife in their back. If you're in the same little fucking clique, same fucking family, same community, or you feel obligated, especially in certain cultures where they say family no matter what, we'll talk about that later, which is another toxic mentality. Some of y'all probably don't even get it. Again, you probably don't travel very far outside your community. You probably don't go around a lot of different people. I love some of you, but it's the truth. Same people you work with, same people you vacation with, same people you church with, same people you barbecue with. You're not getting any new information. That's just recycled. They tell you take up for them no matter what, no matter how fucked up they are. That's why they never get it together, man. It's the truth. It's enabling. You don't have to listen to people. And when you can't be manipulated. This world doesn't come after the fake. And you need to go back far in history to see when they really started coming after the truthers. Doesn't mean we're right about everything. It does not mean that we have to agree on everything. It does not mean all of our information is correct. We're providing a platform and an opportunity for people to think and go research for themselves and make up their own fucking mind, not be forced, bullied, summoned, or manipulated into doing so. I think this is a perfect time in history that we would follow in line and whatever that they wanted to do. So this was my monthly, what was on my mind. I had more stuff, but I got 2 other podcasts to do and some other shit to do today, and then get back to work in the morning. So, hey man, anybody wants to tune in, Savage Mind Podcast, Spotify, Apple Play, Google Play. I'd appreciate it if you subscribe, but if you don't, you're not gonna hold us back. We got other supporters from other places. It's a perfect example. Everything that I do, I'm showing you what it's like for your community to bail on you. I'm showing what it's like for your family to bail on you, and I'm showing if I was more agreeable, if I was more weak, and I'm gonna talk about that in my next video at the end of this month. People like you more. It's before I go to make you understand that there's a big difference between being humble and being weak. They're not the same thing. Just like we all have weak moments. We all have compromisable moments. We all make bad decisions. Your whole life is not supposed to be weak. We're supposed to have weak moments, and we're supposed to handle it ourselves in-house. Doesn't mean that we don't feel and we don't hurt. You don't think I do? People are waiting for some of us to get on social media and do it, and it ain't gonna happen. So, Savage Mind Designs, Savage Mind Podcast, Season 3 coming up, videos, guests, going to a different platform. My challenges. Anybody pay attention? It ain't as good as doing gym selfies a few times a week, and especially if you're an attractive woman. I like attractive women, but still, it's or maybe I do a couple of pictures and work out, then give up for 6 months and say that I'm getting my life back on track and stuff like that. Maybe it'd be more fitting. We'll talk about that in the next video too. But that's not what we do. We're consistent. We don't stop. People expect it out of us. That's why you don't check on us. That's why you don't. Some of y'all don't support. You don't encourage. It's the truth. Y'all know it. You don't. It doesn't resonate with you. How have some of us not fucking gave up? How have we not thrown in the towel? How have we not became the victim? When all this shit happened this year, which will be the rest of my life, I'll have to deal with this. Some of y'all were waiting for it. You know you was. This is it. Like, how many of y'all ever watch Hot Tub Time Machine? One of my favorite movies of that nature. I love it. I just watched it last week when I got sick. I ain't seen it in a few years. You know where the guy fucking loses his arm? And Lou can't wait to lose his arm because it's part of how it fits in the history, and they don't want to fuck up the butterfly effect. They feel gypped when he don't get his fucking arm cut off. Y'all feel gypped that some of us have fucking gave up, been weak and threw in the towel. You're fucking waiting for it. That's why so many you reach out to people on tragedy or when they're doing bad, but you don't compliment them on what they're doing good and what they're accomplishing outside of material things and outside of children or jobs. It's like the things you see on social media, which is, I got the job, fucking 200 likes, fucking 100 comments. They don't even know if you like the job. Don't even know if it's a fucking good job, whatever your definition of that is. I'm getting ready to start a business. I'm going to make some sacrifices, and I'm going to give up some stuff and make some changes. I'm going to maybe relocate. I'm going to be an entrepreneur, start a podcast, start a brand. It's fucking silence, man. It's fucking silence. But this is a perfect example of what I'm doing to show you. You don't have to be people, you know. Matter of fact, your next level, now that I'm moving to next level stuff I haven't even discussed and only told a handful of people. They don't even know about it. They don't even know about the progress and advantages we make. Because I put some out there, but I learned to quit putting everything. I learned not even put everything out there. Because people they can't even grasp the concept of what some of us are doing. How all this fits together. The podcast, the brand, the challenges, the training. Think about it. The writing. It all fits together. If they don't understand it, they don't like it, they criticize because of what we stand for. Like I said, if we was weaker, if we was more agreeable, if we posted popular shit instead of what we really feel and what we really are compelled to say and do, and we stand on that, it's not popular. Y'all do popular shit. We do what we're compelled to do and what our purpose is, and we do it unapologetically. We don't give a fuck who it fits. We put it out there, and we let that shit fall on whoever and whatever category and person it falls under. And that's your problem. So for now, man, I'm gonna go. Like the banner says, man, y'all stay humble, live savage, love y'all.